Hey, what's good? Finally got to shoot that AR, and I got some footage, but my friend has to email it to me. Um, it works fine. It's amazing. If it ever jammed once or twice, just pulled it back again and it loaded the bullet. I mean, it works perfect. My Ruger P89 works. So happy. Finally got to go shooting. Felt great. Um, so, more V's in the media. That show Ringer with Sarah Michelle Gellar, who played Buffy. The N in Ringer is two V's. The Cars symbol for that movie Cars has a V behind it. Um, you already know my Cloud Atlas stuff, but I think it's interesting that there's someone's name is Hooks in that, and they mention Aurora, and of course it has the San Onofre power plants. So Sandy Hook, Aurora shooting, power plant as the finale. And in The Big Lebowski, that weird ass scene where Jeff Bridges gets knocked in the head and he starts tripping out. I mean, and then Julianne Moore comes with some bull horns. That wasn't just the fat lady singing. That was some Illuminati shit. And the emphasis on her boobs, for the power plant. Yeah. And and she has the boots on, the foot coming down. Anyway, there's a movie called V, and it's about aliens. Um, Independence Day has a V on the cover of it. Um, I mean, it's just everywhere, and you gotta wonder why Christians are the conspiracy theorists. Because it says at the end of time there will be a tyrannical takeover, like a huge deception upon the whole world. Okay? That's why Christians are conspiracy theorists, because they're waiting for them to set the NWO up so the fall can happen and the rise can happen for those who believe, the rapture. I mean, this is some crazy stuff. Um, Even the Rambo video game, the one with the weird 80s graphics that's just released, even though it has shitty graphics, it had a V in it. It zoomed out from the M and it looked like a V, okay? In this game called The Last of Us, all these zombies have most of them have electronic shit on their face. It's not just zombies anymore, it's the mark of the beast making you a zombie. Okay, and there's even an episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer called Illuminatus. And the guy's desk, it has a lamp on this side and a round lamp on this side and a phoenix in the very back in the very center. Come on, people. It's getting old. It's everywhere. The Lexus has a V in it. There's a new show called Axe Cop. It's for the guillotines coming. It's some cartoon. And that show Chopped even is a metaphor probably of the axe coming. In Men in Black 3, there's a V on her necklace in the very first scene. And the very end has the stone coming. I don't know if I already said this stuff. And Constantine movie poster has a V also. So yeah, it's pretty intense. This is why Christians are conspiracy theorists. Because, anyway, if you listen to that song Brain Damage by Pink Floyd, a lot of it says, like, the lunatics on the grass, the guy in your head, gotta keep the loonies on the path. And, the time comes when it'll get out of your head during the dark side of the moon, during the second coming. And I'm only really getting into this Christian stuff because I logically approached it, okay? I'm reading Swedenborg. He has an awesome interpretation of a verse in Isaiah. It keeps going back between Egypt and Israel or whatever. And he's saying it's not Egypt and Israel that the Bible's actually talking about. Egypt means scholarly knowledge. Israel means the spiritual knowledge. And he's saying the Bible goes back and forth between the two because in the language that the Bible's supposed to mean, not a literal thing, it says that scholarly knowledge will be combined with spiritual knowledge at the end of days. And this is confirming exactly what I'm doing. I'm logically coming to the conclusion of Christianity being valid. Philip K. Dick's exegesis just put upon me all about the real Christianity. William Miller and Swedenborg being Aquarius rabbits, just like me, the same zodiacal stuff. Jesus and Quetzalcoatl supposed to be returning 1844. Quetzalcoatl's a bearded white man. I just am logically coming to this stuff, okay? And of course the Groxt, who confirms the NWO in this whole Christian scheme. And then Jesus' birth chart himself. It's the age of Pisces, and he has the most Pisces of anyone. So I'm logically coming to the conclusion that something might have happened, and that this whole deception occurring right now is for a reason. It's not just because they want power and money. They know money's fake. They make it out of the thin air. They want actual control after there's no more grace. It's some intense shit, you know? And there's a really badass site, donath.org/rant/biblically armed. Talks about at least 8 different cases in the Bible where it says it's okay to be armed, it's okay to attack a night intruder, on and on. Dalai Lama's for self-defense, Gandhi, the whole lot of them. MLK tried to get a handgun license. Who was a Republican? Think about stuff. The last thing. So, William Miller said he got his October 1844 thing from Daniel 8:14. Unto 2300 days, then the sanctuary will be recleansed. 4 verses before that, 8:10, it said, the little horn will cast down some of the host. Now, he didn't say the host, which is Jesus. He said some of the host. And that's why Nietzsche is a return of a Jesus. That he had part of the host in him, and he says, I'm going to write beyond good and evil. I'm going to give a whole new morality to humanity. I am the Antichrist. This is all. Nietzsche was the most profound philosopher because he was one of the hosts coming down. And the Mayans said Quetzalcoatl returned that same year too. This ain't no coincidence. This is logically, confirming spirituality, which is what I've been doing since day one. Okay, I'll post up those vids of the range. I got to shoot a shotgun and a 308 AR-10. My shoulder was fucking sore. Anyway, so y'all have a good one. God bless America. Study for yourself, because that's apparently what God wants us to do.